Welcome back, AgEcon. I am excited for us to dive into the opportunity of a lifetime to talk about opportunity costs. So we're going to start off by looking back at our prom planning example from the last module. Then we'll compare and contrast opportunity costs and trade-offs, which is a word we probably have heard of in our lives. And then we'll talk about the decision-making process and what that can look like with this thing called thinking on the margin. So let's get started with our learning targets. First, I can compare and contrast trade-offs and opportunity costs. Second, I can identify examples of qualitative and quantitative opportunity costs in my own life. And last, I can evaluate my options when making decisions by thinking at the margin. So I want you to go back to your cheat sheet or the scratch sheet of paper you used from Unit 1, Lesson 2, with the prom planning example. Or you can use my example below with the selections I've made. Recall that our budget was $9,635. Think about how you went about making your decisions. For me, I placed emphasis on refreshments and decorations because at the time when I was doing that activity, I was hungry and I thought that food mattered. And I know that food matters to all of you as students. So I decided to spend a lot of my money on the catered fancy meal and on the National Debt Band because music is always fun too. And I just kind of went in the middle with the venue. But each of us have different priorities and goals, and that's what makes economics so fun to look at because there really is no right or wrong answer with how we allocate or distribute our resources. And examples like this, it all comes down to personal preference. There really isn't a right or wrong answer. But I want to highlight what a trade-off and an opportunity cost is before we get too far into that example. So a trade-off is all the alternatives that we give up whenever we choose one course of action over others. So by choosing to study for 2 hours instead of going to bed early, I am not only giving up my sleep, I'm also giving up my mental health or mental stability the next day because I'm going to be up super late. And I might even be giving up a couple bucks to buy an extra shot of espresso in the morning in my coffee. Opportunity costs, on the other hand, are the options you forego in making a decision, the tangible or intangible value of the next best option. So all individuals and groups of people make decisions that involve trade-offs and ultimately opportunity costs. So opportunity cost is the value of that trade-off, if that makes sense. The quote over to the right by Lenton Joseph really does play a pretty big role in the idea of opportunity costs and trade-offs. So life is a trade-off between our dreams and our comfort zone. If you go for pursuing your dreams, you may sacrifice something in your comfort zone. Ultimately, our life is a result of our choices. So that fundamental idea of trade-off and opportunity cost really gets summarized well by that nice quote over there. And take it for what you will. I like it a lot. I have that on my wall of quotes in my office. So let's imagine that, going back to that prom planning example, that our plans don't work out. The band you wanted is unavailable. The venue burned down in a fire, and the caterer you selected was double booked. So you've got some new decisions to make. Based on your prom selections, identify a trade-off or a different band, venue, and refreshment. And remember to stay within your $9,635 budget. Okay, so I'm going to put this slide up here again. I'll move my face out of the way so you can see all of them. And I want you to reinvent your decisions. And we will see you back here in the next video. So again, remember, you're picking a band, you're picking a venue, and you're picking a refreshment and decoration that was different than the one you initially picked. Thanks for watching.